Okay, by request, I have been asked to do the Call of the Stonemother achievement in Badlands. Uh, Play 25 and then 50 elementals that have had their stats doubled by Therazane. I already have some incidental progress on this just from discovering Therazane from other cards and whatnot, but um, I was not doing these videos during the Badlands, so I don't have a lot of these achievements, and I hadn't made videos on them. So let's move on to the deck. Alright, so the core of this deck is going to be very simple. We've got Therazane herself, we've got Tailin to go get her, and we've got caricature artists to go get, well, one of these two. If a character artist misses Therazane, it's because it hit Tailin, which will then go Therazane. So there are 4 cards in my deck that will go get Therazane. And the rest of my deck, I basically want full of elementals to benefit from Therazane, but I also need to make sure that I survive up until turn 7, and it's a pretty brutal meta right now. Give me a moment and we will see what that looks like. Okay, so on top of the fetching that I have, I also have a couple of shale spiders, which I can make sure gets to draw a card, and quick picks, which are not elementals themselves, but the quick pick will draw me 2 new cards, so it's worth inclusion, especially since this only costs 2 mana, and then you get the benefit a couple of times piecemeal. I also have a couple of freeze effects, a couple of taunt effects, a little bit of healing even, and then the rest of this is just, stuff less than the price that I would need. Like this tops out my mana curve right here at 4, but at 4 I can have a taunt that deals 2 damage to all minions except friendly elementals, so it's not the worst pull. And I managed to keep anything out of my deck that was 5 or higher. So this is a fast-paced deck. It doesn't have a whole lot of draw, but it has a pretty good amount of fetch. So hopefully this will work out. A couple of quick notes. So the first off, this is a showdown in the Badlands achievement, but this is not the showdown in the Badlands meta. The Year of the Wolf has ended, Whizbang's Workshop has come in. This would have been a different deck if I had done it before, and I can't tell you off the top of my head how it would have looked, except for some particular cards, like Caricature Artist, wasn't here yet, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what other fetch options you could have had to replace that. But also, there are other tools that Whizbang's Workshop affords us, such as the Sweetened Snow Flurry, which those 2 frost spells could come in clutch. However, I was seriously considering including Sandbox Scoundrel. I was thinking it might be a way to advance the timeline, but there were 2 problems with that, both related to the cost. As a 5-drop, I could get this and get the miniaturize, but I wouldn't be able to use the discount to cast Therazane on 5. I would still have to wait till 6 to drop the miniaturized one and then do Therazane. So it would only save me 1 turn there if I even got it. But the second problem is what really killed it for me. The Caricature Artist could potentially fetch Sandbox Scoundrel instead of Tailin or Therazane. And if I missed on the Caricature Artist, or if it's not consistent, that means I've taken my fetching power from 4 cards to 2 in the deck to get me that Therazane. So inclusion of the Sandbox Scoundrel in particular could actually really ruin my day. And it wasn't worth it for the payoff of possibly getting Therazane out 1 turn early. So, on to the games.
Valera versus Rafal.
I am Rafa, the supreme salesman.
I make my own.
For the mulligan, since our mana curve is so cheap, I can really afford to just hard mulligan for the things that I want, which is the Caricature Artists, Tailin, or the thing itself. This is a draw card, but I might keep the pick because the pick replaces itself and draws an additional card, which means it is technically superior to to throwing it away in the opening hand. But this, I mean, it's a conditional draw, and it only replaces itself. So I'd rather just replace it now and have another option to get the cards I'm looking for. And there is a Phelan. And in fact, it was the third card that I drew off the mulligan. So if I had left this one, if I had left that one behind, I wouldn't have gotten Talon. And a caricature artist as well. I'll preserve my weapon charges at this stage. And I was going to actually tempo out this one, and that way I could get the Actually, you know what? I might just do that way anyway. That way I'll have the miniaturized version in my hand. And
How's a treat as sweet as me?
yep, I was thinking about that too. It is possible that I do get the Horn of Winter. I think I would rather keep this in my hand, but I will use the free Horn of Winter to replace my weapon at least. And then, as a bit of good luck, I also drew a caricature artist, and since I already have Talon, this will for sure get Theraz, the other one. They might be a wheel lock. Actually, we don't really know what they are right now. But let's go ahead and get what we want.
Sickly sweet.
And we may as well drop Talon. There's nothing left for it to get, but we don't need it in our hand either, so it'll just help us survive to 7.
Not what we sickly.
Well, 333 kills that one. I can freeze that one. You know what? I should probably go ahead and put this out. And then I can put these guys out and they will replace themselves in my hand. So I will, yeah, she'll still benefit them. Dirty pool. I suppose I could do that. Actually, let me see if I can get a good frost spell, since...
Another snap.
Two, 4, 6, 3. You know, I think I would rather just kill it before this pops up again, so...
Rotten to the core.
And...
Choose soon.
I have too many gods at it. I have too many gods at it.
Oh! Burned as Reno. Burned their Reno. Okay, this is unfortunate, but they're not gonna get smaller, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop her.
Power of the ground wishes to swallow you.
The whispers. I can't resist.
Funny thing about the tar slime, 0 attack doubles to 0. Ow. So, I at least need some taunts up.
Punched by a giant.
Definitely want some healing up. And I'm not gonna swing into a 9 attack thing.
My deck is gone. How could this happen?
Ouch. Well, I can draw. I'll play 1 cost to activate this.
Picking up pace. Here's the drop.
Put out a taunt. Maybe I can survive another turn.
This is only the beginning.
A new planet to burn.
If only I had my own Reno. So,
I will not wander away so easily.
here. Definitely want a taunt again. And I could play this one for mana curve, but we want to play ones that have been buffed for the achievement, so that'll take priority.
Away so easily.
And unfortunately, I can't swing to draw.
There is no escape.
Oh, I'm probably dead. Oh.
A new planet to burn.
Hey, I triggered tier 1. Well, neither of these is gonna keep me alive. So I may as well cast. And go out.
Warrior blade.
So here we are, Call of the Stonemother, step complete. I got 25, and I started with 13, I believe, which means I made 12 progress that game. So, like with many of my decks, this probably isn't going to win you any matches, especially in this meta. But hopefully the progress makes up for it towards the achievement. So, enjoy.